Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the Tarpon House project and specifically the adjustments we've made to the site plan. If you've been following along, you know we originally, and by we, I mean me, I originally planned to build townhomes on this lot. But after reviewing the layout and speaking with the city, I decided it made more sense to build a single family residence. The main reason for that is the two townhome configuration just didn't maximize the potential with this particular lot. Plus, I noticed several single family homes within the neighborhood selling at a premium. And this is right now currently. Maybe I can pull it up somewhere here or here, but this particular house is on the market right now for 2.1 million. It lasted maybe 2 weeks. It's a very similar style build. It's on a smaller lot and it is selling for a premium. So that gave me not only confidence, but it validated the price per square foot in this neighborhood and what ultimately I could sell my lot for, or excuse me, I could sell my development for. One interesting aspect or attribute that we now get to add to the development, now that it's a single family home, is we can build an ADU, an in-law suite. Initially, as you guys know, I was building those townhomes. I spoke with the city and the city said I could not build in-law suites. They then proceeded to tell me that if I wanted to do an in-law suite, I'd have to go single family. So now that we switched the configuration from townhome to single family, you betcha we're building an ADU in the back. I really feel like this ADU in-law suite is going to be the difference maker. There is no other house that I've seen in the neighborhood with an in-law suite, and I think it's going to add tremendous upside and value to our project. Some additional things that I've been changing and working on have a lot to do with the setback requirements and just kind of where the home is going to be placed on the lot. So depending on where you live, I'm in Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, there are ordinances, building codes, and zoning requirements for whatever it is you want to build. Part of my job as the developer is not only to lean on the architect and ask him questions, but to pick up the phone and call the city myself and get further clarification on how big can the ceilings be? How wide can the structure be? Where does the house have to lay on the lot? And if you look at our site plan, the home is sitting 68 feet back on the lot. Now, we have a really long lot. The value with this particular piece of land is how long the lot is, how big the lot is. So we have to really utilize that. So I decided to call the city and ask them, what is the minimum setback requirement for our lot, for this development? City said it's 15 feet. 15 feet. So I immediately emailed the architect and mentioned that we have to bring the house way further up. We're chopping off half the lot by putting it 68 feet back. We don't need this long of a driveway. I don't even know what you do with that long of a driveway, but we have to move the structure way up and get closer to whatever that minimum requirement is. The city doesn't want you on the street, but they don't want you down the street. 15 feet is the minimum, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that adjustment. Some other key design changes was the ceiling height. The ceiling height was at 9 feet. I'm bumping it to 10 feet. And 9 feet to 10 feet or 8 feet to 9 feet may not sound like a big deal, but when you walk into a house, you know that the ceilings are 10 feet. It gives a much bigger feel. It gives a more luxury feel. And if I can go to 10 feet ceilings, I'm going to 10 feet ceilings. So we made that adjustment. We made the adjustment to the setback. Like I mentioned, we're adding the ADU. We're switching from townhome to single family. All of these things are the back and forth that us as developers will do with the architect and the engineers. Overall, the new plan just feels like a better situation. I feel like this is going to be a far more profitable project. It's more in line with the demand I'm seeing in the area, the homes that are selling, the homes that are flying off the shelves. And I'm glad that I'm really digging deeper into the site plan and making these adjustments. If you guys don't know or didn't see on my TikTok and Instagram, I had mentioned that my architect was gone for 10 days. He went to Japan. And initially I was kind of frustrated because he was gone. but it gave me time to look at the site plan, speak with the city, and not be so in a rush and dig deeper into what I think could sell at a premium. After all, like, we're building this not just to sell, but sell for top dollar. And knowing the product, knowing the neighborhood is just as important as anything else. So going forward, now the architect's going to make these changes. Once he makes the changes, we can finally get our construction docs finalized. The construction documents are like the real outline of what you're building, all your MEP stuff. So mechanical, engineering, plumbing, basically your blueprint to build a house. That's going to help you get permits, and it's going to help you get bids from contractors. You can try talking to contractors and they may give you a cost per square foot, give you an idea, but without the actual plans, you're not going to get a real price. And that's huge. So once we have these construction docs, I will be taking bids, speaking with contractors, taking you guys with me so you guys can see that process, and really pinning down what my cost per square foot is going to be on this particular development. While I'm waiting, I'm also talking to investors. Now, in a past video, I mentioned that I may or may not bring on investors, and I kind of want to do the project myself. I have two potential ways to finance this development. Maybe I'll share that in another video, but one of them is potentially taking on investors. So I am talking to some people that I think will be interested in the project. I have a term sheet, kind of giving them an idea of what kind of return to expect, and that is not completely off the table. Raising capital is a part of real estate development. And I really have gone back and forth in my head about, do I raise money? Do I not? And it really comes down to scale and long-term growth. If I'm serious about being a real estate developer, I got to learn how to raise capital. And you have to learn how to raise capital. You can't do these projects by yourself. You may be able to do one or two, but you can't actually scale into the bigger deals without raising capital. So part of my vision is, of course, to create more transparency in content, like literally more content than any developer that ever walked the earth, but also having these conversations with investors so that if I do need the capital for a particular project, I have already built a relationship and confidence in people that I think want to be a part of this stuff. Real estate development is incredibly rewarding. Of course, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of ups and downs and problems. And as I'm going through this project, I love what I'm doing. It is like, I can't emphasize that enough to you guys, how much I'm enjoying creating content, going through the process, talking to the engineers, the architects, the city, contractors, going to different sites, looking at different lots. I truly feel like this is my calling and this is what I was put on earth to do. So I'm going to share that with you guys. I appreciate you guys for following the journey. If this is content you like, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.